So before I start, I'd just like you to tell me the time. I put the time on the screen. Yeah. So anyone wants to tell me the time? Sister Livin, tell me the time. 4:06, huh? Right. Brother, can you tell me the time? Yes. Now, yes. But what time is on the board? And continuous. So if I ask more to, for you to tell me the time, we'd all get different answers. Yeah. And so this is in connection with what we are going to look at today, yeah, which is that the time comes and goes. It comes, there is a 9:40 something, yeah, which is there. It is a time, but that time does not stay. It goes. So it appears and it disappears. So just now, just to make a point about what we chanted that the Buddha's teachings is akaliko. Yeah, in the features or the characteristics in the reflections of the Dhamma, one of the characteristics is the Dhamma is akaliko, timeless. So this is one feature. The feature is that the Dhamma does not stand with time. Yeah, it moves, yeah, with the time. And it is quite an interesting aspect. But if you can bear this in mind, yeah, that the time is always moving, I can never get the same answer, which is good, is something which we must understand. Yeah, and this is how we understand it and make sense of it in the context of this sutta. Yeah, the Dighajanu Sutta. Conditions of welfare in this life and in future lives. So were you here for any of the earlier sessions? Did you catch some of the earlier ones? No? Then I will do a quick recap. Yeah, this is quite an interesting sutta because there are definite suttas the Buddha gave or delivered for lay people. Most of the suttas were delivered to the monks because the monks were always around him. The monks and the nuns, yeah, they lived with him, or he would take opportunity to interact with them. So you can appreciate that a lot of the teachings were to the monks. They were very close to him, and they came to ask him definite questions to help in their progress, their spiritual progress. Yeah. In those times, the Buddha said, if you want to become a monk, the main aim of becoming a monk is to attain Nibbana, is to escape these rounds of suffering. So they were very, very earnest. And when they came into the Sangha to become a monk, most of them were actually working very hard to escape these rounds of suffering. Therefore, whenever the Buddha was there, they would take the opportunity to ask questions. And the Buddha, he would also give teachings at all times. Sometimes he would be walking with the monks, then they would see something, and the Buddha would say, monks, do you see this? They would say, yes. And then he will explain, there are this. Sometimes the deeper aspects of understanding the nature of reality. So if you really consider it, yeah, if you look at it closely, these teachings of the Buddha, what does it want to show you? Yeah. The teachings of the Buddha wants us to understand the nature of reality. What is real? Not what is imagined. Because we can imagine all kinds of things and say, this is the religion. But the Buddha said, no, I want you to see what is real. And of course, our ability to see what is real will not be the same for everyone. Sometimes there are people who have worked on it harder, they will be able to see more. Not just more, they will be able to see more deeply. But some who are just new, they will be able to see the surface, of what the Buddha is teaching. So therefore, don't be so disheartened or unhappy if there are certain things you cannot grasp, for the time being. Because what you need to do is stay with it, and eventually it will make sense to you. But what you need to do is to be committed to the study and the practice, of the Buddha's teachings. It's important to have these two aspects, study and practice. You will notice that in what we do not refer to a holy book. Christians have a holy book. They say, this is the Bible. And they respect the Bible as the word of God. Some people will say that the Bible is inerrant. That means no mistake. Yeah, have you heard of this word? It comes from the word error. There are no errors, no mistakes in the Bible. So they keep it as the real word of their creator, God. And the Muslims, they have their Quran, Al-Quran, which also is the word of God. But Buddhists are quite different because we don't carry our holy books around. Yeah, the collection of the Buddha's teachings is huge. If you go down to the library, I don't think you can carry them around with you. In your bag, in your pocket, you cannot carry that collection. You need at least 4 suitcases. Yeah. So if you want to carry it, you better have a big suitcase. But what is important in the Buddha's teachings is not just the study of it, it is also the practice. And it is this practice that binds all of us together, that glue us together. Because if there is practice, there is the direct understanding, the deeper understanding of this reality. What is real, not what is imagined. So the more we practice, the more we see what is real, we can share with each other. And the wonderful thing is, if you have experienced that part of it, and I have experienced that part of it, we know what it is. And so we try to explain, and we try to encourage others to experience it the same way. And so the more people who directly touch what is real will have a direct understanding of the Buddha's teachings. Late Chief Kesari Dhammananda, some of you might have met him, and he said, there was one time we were discussing, I was quite lucky to have time to discuss with him. And he said one day, when I went to pay respects to him, he said, do you know how many Buddhists there are in the world? I said, Reverend, I think there's only about 300 million Buddhists. Yeah, he said. Then you know how many schools of Buddhism there are? Then I started to tell him, yes, there is Theravada, there is Mahayana, there is Vajrayana. He said, no. Siang, there are 300 million schools of Buddhism in the world. Because all of us see it differently. How do you know what you have understood is the same as what I have understood? It might be different. You have your own background, your own way of thinking. your own understanding, and based on this, you will see it differently. But if you have direct experience of what is real, then you narrow down the number of Buddhist schools. It becomes it becomes similar, because when you describe the real, it is not study, it is not an intellectual process, it is a direct process. And you see it directly. And if all of us see it directly, then we belong to actually one school, because we see it the same way. Yeah, you see the differences between Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, and all the other yana, they don't see things the same way, right? And even within Theravada, which we call ourselves, do we see things the same way? No, there are also differences, yeah, between one center and another center. But when we come together and discuss Dhamma, as we have seen it directly, there are no disagreements. It becomes the same. So therefore, dear Dhamma brothers and sisters, always remember, you have to study, which is what we are doing, and you have to practice. And practicing is to actually put your mind onto the objects that are real. If you put your mind on objects that are not real, you cannot see what is real. So there are certain things that are real, and which is, one of which, the easiest, is the four elements. Yeah, the elements of hardness in our body, which is heart, the elements of movement, which is, we call it air, the elements of fluid or cohesion, we call it water, and the element of temperature, we call it fire. So and these are real. The Buddha said these are actually existing phenomena. They are real. So when we experience hardness, yeah, we can see reality through the hardness. If we experience the movement within the body, that is real too. Yeah. And cohesion is a little bit hard, because cohesion is the nature of the body holding together. Yeah. When you get older, to a certain age, yeah, there is less water, moisture. So when there is less moisture, you can see the skin is not so tight. It becomes loose. So that means we have less water. That is the nature of this cohesion. Cohesion holds everything together. Yeah, now you see the muscle a bit flabby, right? Yeah, soft. Yeah, soft here, really soft. Yeah, that means the water element in the body is decreasing, getting less. And fire element, whether you feel warm or you don't feel warm, you feel cold, that is real. So when you put your mind on the real, you will go deeper and deeper and deeper into what is real. Of course, just now we played the metta. Metta is something we bring to the mind and to the heart. It is still, although it is good to calm the mind, it is not real. It's something we create. Yeah. So if the mind goes to the real, then we can have a better chance of seeing, the reality of our existence. So now, let's go to this Dighajanu. Anything you want to ask about that? You see, the Buddhist teachings is different from others. Others, you just read the book, fine. The word comes from the Creator. But here, we are not so concerned with the Creator. We are concerned with personal development, the ability to see. And when you can see, then how you live your life will be quite different. So the Dighajanu Sutta, the first thing is, I found this picture which I thought represents Dighajanu, the rich young man. The meaning of Dighajanu is long. Some people have interpreted Digha means long, Janu means knee. but I don't think it's really long knee. You know, knee. Yeah, I think it is. I found another interpretation. It means long shin. This is the shin. Yeah. So I think that is a better interpretation. It is his family name. So I think many members in his family had the long shin. So he went to see the Buddha one day, and he asked the Buddha. The Buddha was staying in a place, yeah, where his mother came from. Yeah, this place called Kolia. So his mother is a Kolian. Yeah, and he himself, the Buddha, was from the Sakya area. So he was a Sakyan. Today, you can still find Sakyan people, yeah, up in the hills of Nepal. They still live, they exist. And there was a visit of this late monk called Theodore Nyanapurnik. If you had met him, you can see he was from the Sakya clan, yeah, the Sakya people. So these people, the Buddha was staying there, and then this rich young man, yeah, I think he was probably around his late 30s, early 40s, and he was doing very well, yeah, from a very well-to-do family. And he came to ask the Buddha, and this is very relevant to us. He asked the Buddha, "Venerable Sir, yeah, definitely we are not monks." He said, "We are lay people who enjoy sensual pleasure." Does that sound familiar? Yeah, we also are lay people who enjoy sensual pleasures, living at home with our children. Yeah, we use sandalwood imported from Kasi. That means we use nice smelling powder. In our case, it could be imported from Paris. Yeah, same. I'm trying to relate it. the, what Dighajanu was asking is very relevant to today's life. So he was asking, we wear garlands, yeah, flowers, and so do we. We wear all kinds of things, perfumes and makeup. Yeah, men don't use makeup, but some men do, right? You can understand what he's talking about. I think Indian men in those days use makeup also. We accept gold and money. May the Buddha please teach us the Dhamma in a way that leads to our welfare. How do I be happy? How can I be happy in this life, here, now, living, and in the future lives? So he's very smart. Yeah. Can you tell me how to look after myself now, but now not enough? How about future? Yeah, I want to cover all my bases. Right. So he asked the Buddha this question. Yeah. And the Buddha gave this answer. It was in short, the Buddha said, there are four things which you have to apply in this life. What for? Yeah, as sister said just now, there must be initiative, hard work. Don't be a lazy person. Yeah, don't just sit and wait for things to happen. You must make things happen. You got to have energy. Secondly, yeah, protection, meaning to say, whatever you have, make sure you protect it. Don't let people come and steal it. You have to be very clever, very clever and alert. That also means anything that is electronic in the bank, yeah, not just solid things in your house. You've got to make sure that everything that you own, whether it is electronic or whether it is solid and tangible, it must be protected. You also must be protected. Your property, your family, your loved ones must be protected. So this is important. The Buddha was very clear and sharp because he knows that there are many people, many unscrupulous, yeah, they are not good people who, when they look at others, they want to take those things away because they are not hardworking themselves. Or it might be said they didn't have opportunity when they were young. So when they become adults, they look, I want this, I'll take it. That is stealing. So therefore, we must know this and protect ourselves, yeah, from this kind of activities. Good friendship. So I hope you know each other here. If you don't know, please get to know each other. The Buddha said good friendship is very important because we cannot go anywhere on our own and do things on our own if it is on the spiritual journeys, especially the spiritual journey. Yeah, because if you come and listen, yeah, and you are on your own here, you don't have friends, it might make sense to you, but after that, there's nobody to discuss with. Hey, you know that Dighajanu Sutta we heard? Yeah, what do you think of? Do you have somebody to discuss it with when you go home? Yeah, you don't just eat; you have to tapao, go home, and then open up at home and think about it, and experience it again, the Dhamma, not just makan here. So if you have good friends, you can discuss with them. Yeah, and then sometimes when you are lazy, you got no energy, your good friends will say, "Come, let's go." No, I feel a bit tired. No, 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 I will drive you. Okay, that is having good friends. So good friendship is very, very important. And they will share with you, hey, I have this new website. I found the speaker. He's very, very good. Yeah, why don't you go here? Or I share the video with you. I'll send to our chat group. Yeah. And so we all learn together. Therefore, if you are serious about the spiritual journey, make good friends. Have good friends that will support you and encourage you, motivate, and not just motivate, inspire you. Because maybe one of you have understood something which you didn't understand. And then you say, wow, you can understand. Tell me, how to do that. Then, you inspire each other. So I'm quite lucky in that I have a group of good friends. And we encourage each other to go and listen to talk, when they are good speakers. We encourage each other to go for meditation retreats. We encourage each other to organize giving dana. Giving dana is an easier thing to do than meditation retreats. So you should get together and then go and give dana as a group, to the monks, to anyone who is needy. I have a group of people who give meals out to the homeless. At about 10 o'clock at night, they will drive and give out food to the homeless people who stay in KL under the bridges and the flyovers. So they are very, very dedicated to helping people. So they do it as a group. And lastly, balance finances. You want to get anywhere, you must know how to organize your finances. The Buddha is so practical. You cannot have money and after that spend until no more. Then you're going to be in trouble. So the Buddha said, balance your finances. Don't spend more than you earn. There's a lot more advice. Today, we won't go through them. So he said, basically, be very careful with your money. Then he talked about future. This is in this life. You have to do all these things in this life, right? To find real happiness, welfare. Look after your own welfare. 4 things for your future. Are you concerned with your future? Now most of you are maybe younger. So now is very important for you. I cannot think of the future, too far ahead. I will think of now, which is very, very good. Then the first 4 are very, very relevant and important to you. But as you get to around 40 or 50, and maybe even 60, you start to think, hey, I don't have much time left. And time, as I said, always changing. You notice it changes. So by the time we finish here this Sunday morning, you would have lost or not lost, you would have gone through 2 hours of your life that you can never get back. You cannot rewind. Videos, okay, you rewind. Yeah. Life, there is no rewind button. There is no rewind app, facility to rewind. So make sure you make best use of your time, because it's going. I showed you just now. It's going, it's going, it's going. Yeah. And can never be, you can never get it back. So 4 things for the future. The Buddha said, yeah, you must have strong faith. This is not the faith of belief, not blind belief. There is this word saddha. Saddha means faith of conviction, meaning to say it works. You know it works. You have experienced it working, and therefore you have confidence in it. The best word, I think, is conviction. You are convinced it is good for you. So from the because you are convinced, you have conviction. And the nearest, easiest word is faith. Yeah, faith, which many people use. But so many people use it nowadays. Yeah, and others say, I live according to my faith. Yeah, because that faith, they need it because they cannot see what they are practicing. They need faith to hold on to their religious beliefs. But for us, yeah, please be assured you can see. We are connected by this direct seeing. All of us. That's why we have wisdom. You have the wisdom to spend 2 hours here on a Sunday morning. That is wisdom. Because I'm sure if you don't come here, you've got other things to do. Other things to enjoy. But wisdom brings you here. I go there, something to learn. I will be a better person because of it. This is called wisdom. Did you encourage your family and friends to come? How many of them came? None. They don't have wisdom. They don't find anything worthwhile, anything to gain coming here. They don't think it is beneficial. How come you come? Why are you here? Huh? You have wisdom. Because you know the clock is ticking. And you will never get it back. Faith. Ethics. You behave well. You don't disturb others. Yeah. You know how a cultured person, a well-mannered person behaves. So because you behave like this, other people can get on with their lives. You don't go and disturb them. You don't make their lives difficult. You make their lives easy, to live. Because of these ethics. And for yourself, you know how to culture and cultivate also, develop yourself. Now that is the importance of good behavior. So from morals, we have ethics. We learn how to live like a real human being. Yeah, manusia. This word, Malay language use manusia, but the ancient language, Pali, is manusa, made of 2 words. Mana is mind, usa is usaha, meaning can develop. So the meaning of human being, according to the ancient language, is mind can develop. Yeah, not like animals. Animals are not manusa. They can develop a little bit, especially you train them, but they cannot think, really the way we think. So that's for the future. If you have faith, you are confident that this is your path. If you have ethics, you know that this is how you're going to live, which will carry you to the future. Next one is generosity. You are happy to give. You are happy to share. You don't hold on to what is yours without letting even a little bit go. So because you can share, because you are happy to give to other people, you are not so selfish. You are not so possessive. So when things happen to you, you say, I let go. So the purpose of practicing generosity is to let go. To whatever I have, I give to you. So I let go. And you take and you use it. But we must give what is worthwhile. We must give what is valuable. Don't give the things that you don't want. Oh, I got all these old shirts I don't want. It's in the house. I give to you. So at least I don't have to take and put for the recycling people. That is not real giving. Real giving is I want, you want, I give to you. Anyway, that is real giving because you need it. It's not that I don't need it, but you need it too. So I give it to you. Now that is giving. This generosity is what has brought us here in this form. We are here as human beings because of ethics. We are comfortable because of generosity. There are many beings who have a lot of comfort, very well looked after. Don't have to worry about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they are not human beings. You have dogs and cats. Do they worry about dinner? No, you give them. Yeah. They have done good things. They are much better off than many human beings I have seen. If you go to India, you will see those human beings. They are not as lucky as our dogs and cats. Yeah, there was one time my mom told me she went to India the first time, few times. In this city called Varanasi, yeah, she went in December, which is very, very cold at night. These people sleep near the river. Yeah, so they don't have much to cover themselves, and it's very, very cold. So early in the morning, one man will come with a cart and a sharp stick. He will poke the people sleeping there. If you make noise, you are still alive. If you don't make noise, that means you probably are dead. So he will take the body and put it on the cart, and he will sell to the medical school so that they can use the body to train the surgeons. Yeah, life is very, very cheap in some places I've seen. It's very, very cheap. Yeah, not really worth a lot. But here, even our dog and cat, we love so much. We make shirts and sweater for them. They have such a comfortable life. In the Western countries even better. They love them more than they love their children. These dogs and cats. So there are these two aspects. One is our morals and ethics, which will bring us, support us, practicing precepts, observing precepts, keep us up. But if it keeps us up, we also need to have spending money. Yeah. Generosity gives us that. So give, as much as you can, whatever you can afford, yeah, try to give it because these are for the future. It will support you. It will allow you to do what you want to do. Generosity is not just giving. In the future, it opens the door for you. You also understand that on a Sunday, there are people still out there working. Because if they don't work, they don't eat. We are very lucky. Why? We have practiced generosity. So it holds us comfortably for the future. Yeah, do give. And the last one is wisdom, which we are talking about. today. But the Buddha is very interesting because the Buddha doesn't expand the scope of wisdom. The Buddha is a little bit more specific in the wisdom for this man, Dighajanu, which can be expanded to um, all of us. He said, and what is accomplishment? He explains all these things. Yeah. And the last one, wisdom, he explains it in this way. It is when a householder is wise. He has the wisdom of arising and passing away. He sees things come and go, which is noble, penetrative, and leads to the complete ending of suffering. So all these things are very good. Out of the 8, yeah, 7 are easy for us to understand. This thing about wisdom needs to have a little bit more thought. And afterwards, we will have a discussion on it. Right. So what is this understanding? Yeah. This is called accomplishment in wisdom. The understanding of arising and passing away. Yeah. So firstly, we will accept that the practice of Dhamma goes against a lot of our habits. Yeah. Unless we have been practicing a long time, sometimes we will resist the Dhamma also. To do good, yeah, to develop ourselves, to practice what is right. It is not easy for us. It is like you swim up the river. So certain times we are for it, and certain times we are not for it. We make excuse not to come for the talk. We make excuse not to come for the chanting, the puja. We make excuse not to do the generosity. We make an excuse not to observe the precepts. Yeah. You can see things and then you take. The second precept is not to not take things not given. Not given. If it is not given, you cannot take. So if it is there, yeah, you cannot take. No. Only when it is given to you, then you can take. Sometimes there are things there, then we take. Yeah, nobody knows. It's for everyone, so you take. Right. So our mind tells us, and I have been guilty of that. You know, when you work in the office, there are many, many stationeries and supplies. Sometimes the pens and the paper, you just take and go home with it. So that is taking things not given. And good thing is, my colleagues, they come to know I'm a Buddhist. And then they say, hey, yo, you take. Then I feel very shy. Put back. Yeah, it's good to let everyone know so they remind you. We need the reminders. And we resist seeing what is real. Yeah, we resist seeing changing, the change. That is why there are so many hair dye products. There are so many lotion and creams, to put on our face so that we resist the change, the reality of change. We resist it. Yeah. And then sometimes, I now find myself, I like more bright clothes. I don't know why. I went through this period now, all my clothes very dark colored. In my younger days, I like dark. Then suddenly, after I passed about 40, late 40s, 50s, I started to wear bright clothes again. I'm not sure why. Yeah. Is it due to I want to resist change? I want to look bright and young again? It probably is true. Yeah, it probably is. So, this is a feature of our mind. And when we look at how the Buddha explains it, to the wise householder, he said, he has the wisdom of arising and passing away, which is noble, penetrative, and leads to the complete end of suffering. So this is anicca, the concept of impermanence. And here, there is the Sanskrit word. And the opposite of anicca is nitya. Yeah, it is a wonderful word when you really consider it. Yeah, the Tamil word is nitya. Do you know anyone by the name of Nitya? I have a colleague, yeah, his name is Nitya. So Nitya is Nicha. It means permanent, stable, a foundation. That is the meaning of Nitya. If you can see some of these Indian shops that are called the Nitya. Yeah, it's because of this meaning, solid, not changing. But the Buddha said it's changing. Everything is changing. Yeah. So late chief also said that the Buddha described the world as an unending flow. Everything is changing all the time. That is the reality. It doesn't stay the same. We are not sure whether we are here or we are not here because we are changing. Our cells, our atoms, our particles, they are just going zip, 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 all the time. So, late Chief, Venerable K3 Dhammananda said, all is changeable. Continuous transformation is a ceaseless mutation and a moving stream. Everything exists from moment to moment. Everything is a recurring rotation of coming into being and then passing out of existence. Everything is moving from birth to death. The teaching of the impermanent nature of everything is one of the main pivots of Buddhism. That's why some people feel very uncomfortable with the Buddha's teachings, because the Buddha said everything is changing. And they want things that cannot change, does not change, is solid. So to them, yeah, if they go to this place after their death, they are born there, that place they call heaven, yeah, does not change. This is the, do you know this is the main teaching? The main teaching is you will get something that doesn't change. In this life, you suffer. It's okay. But when you die, you will go there, yeah, to a place that doesn't change. Can you imagine this place that doesn't change? After 500,000 years, you still listen to the same music, because they will play music. They will serve you the same food. Yeah, you will get the same talk. After 1 million years, you want some change. After a few million years, you really want to go home. So change is what makes life actually interesting. But the Buddha said you have to accept this change in our existence. So scientists, interestingly enough, found this. This is from a very respectable magazine. The last three Nobel, you know the Nobel Prize? The last three Nobel Prize winners found out for sure that the universe is really not there. We see the universe, but it's not real. Because the components, the little atom, actually the little particles that make us, yeah, is all the time. Sometimes there, sometimes not there, sometimes there, sometimes not there. So these scientists have found out that we are half the time real and half the time not real. But I can still see you because it is so fast, this movement. They are now coming closer to understanding what the Buddha said. And this scientist, very famous scientist of the 20th century, Albert Einstein, yeah, said reality is actually an illusion. Although it's a very persistent illusion, it keeps on coming. It is still an illusion. Yeah. So despite the reality of continuous change, we invest in our lives as though nothing is changing. We invest in our relationships. Yeah, we get married and say, I want to be with you forever. After 3, 4 years, you can take a break. Huh? I'll see you next week. No. So this is the intention. The intention of human beings is quite normal, is we want to create permanence when there is no permanence. Right? Our jobs also, we are not quite sure. Our incomes, our possessions, our sense of self. Yeah, all are changing, changing, changing all the time. Yeah. Do we have time? Do you want to experience it? Do you want to experience what I'm talking about? Okay. Take your palm, put on your knee. Put on your knee. Just put on your knee, close your eyes, and focus on the sensations of your palm. What is there? What do you feel? What is happening at your palm and your knee? Calm your mind. Don't think of anything else. Just focus on the palm on your knee. We'll give it a minute. Just focus, relax, forget about everything else. Just focus on the palm, the feelings and sensations on the knee. It's just touching, touching. But what do you feel? What do you notice? Okay? All right, open your eyes. What did you feel? Did you feel anything? Huh? Warmth, yes, there is temperature. Next, what else do you feel? Moisture, yes, good. What else? Hardness, the elements are all there. What I talked about, the elements. One more thing, what else? Heaviness? Okay. In the heaviness, what is there? Peaceful, yes. But the touching, any of you felt vibration? Zzz, like that. No. Light. Do you feel anything moving? Vibration. Anyone felt vibration? Yeah. If you spend, I'm sorry, I don't have enough time. You spend at least 15 minutes, you will feel that there is a poking, there's a vibration. That vibration is your body appearing and disappearing. Your atoms are going bzz, 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 yeah. And if your mind focuses it on it long enough, it will become very noticeable. But I gave you 1 minute, which is very unfair. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But if you have the time afterwards, yeah, just do this. And then you will feel, yeah, the real nature of our body is not permanently stable. Our body all the time has some kind of energy vibrating in it. And this is what the Buddha was talking about. It is actually not impermanence that gives us, that is a problem. It is not impermanence, the change, that makes us suffer. It is, yeah, what makes us suffer is wanting the things that change, not to change. And this is a great, wonderful teaching from late Master Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. He passed away, I think, last year or earlier this year. Last year, I think. A wonderful teacher. So that's why we feel unhappy when things change. Yeah, we feel unhappy when situations change. We feel unhappy when people change. People that we love, they pass away. Why must they pass away? Because of the change. So we have to accept that change. We have to cope with the change, yeah, that is in our lives. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is seeing the arising and passing away, seeing this change. Yeah, because change is the reality. Anicca is the reality. We don't focus on it. That's why we don't notice it or are familiar with it so much. But it's there. It's always with us. You can imagine did you eat bread this morning or eat nasi lemak? Imagine if the nasi lemak stays as nasi lemak. Nothing changed. And then come out also exactly like nasi lemak. Then where do we get the energy from to fuel the body, to have strength, to build the muscles and the bones and everything else? There is change, isn't it? So if things don't change, we have a problem. So these are the things that we have to consider. They arise, they pass away. Of course, change is the big word. Inside the big word is rise, pass away, rise, pass away, rise, pass away, rise, pass away. It's doing that. So if you put your palm here, you will feel, once you calm your mind down, the tick, 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 is rise, pass, rise. And then the tick, it doesn't tick and stay there. No, it tick already, poof, disappeared. The vibration. These vibrations don't stay there. Yeah. Vibrating means and because it goes like this, it means arise, disappear, arise, disappear, arise, disappear. This is the nature of our body. And if you look closer, we can see more. But you need to spend the time. So, we end the Dighajanu Sutta. They always leave me to end the sutta. To end the sutta, the Buddha said, they are enterprising in the workplace, those people who are successful, diligent in managing things. They balance their finances and preserve their wealth. Faithful, accomplished in ethics, bountiful, rid of stinginess. Yeah, don't be stingy. They always purify the path to well-being in life to come. Yeah. And so these 8 qualities of a faithful householder, yeah. The last one actually talking about wisdom, purify the path to well-being in lives to come. These are the 8 qualities of a faithful householder, are declared by the one who is truly named to lead to happiness in both spheres. That means the Buddha talks about himself. I am the one who's leading you to happiness here and hereafter. And this is how, for a householder, it's important to have merit and generosity, as well as all the other important qualities. So in ending, I would just like to share this slide with you. This is from the Asuttava Sutta, and it talks about the Paticca Samuppada. Paticca Samuppada is a deep teaching. Yeah, so I tell you that so that later on when you are interested, you can go and explore it more. the Paticca Samuppada says this. Yeah, there are 12 links. We are operating on 12 links. We call it links or 12 phenomena. You know, we go like this all the time. All the time, our mind is. Do you know that when you look at me and listen to me, you cannot see and listen to me at the same time? Because your consciousness is only one. You can only hear me, hear, and then listen. See. Yeah? You hear, see. But you cannot hear and see at the same time. But because our consciousness is so fast, you think you are hearing and seeing at the same time. Now, eventually, when you slow down, your mind becomes very concentrated and calm and slow down. You will be able to see that it is one here, see. Yeah. Because of the consciousness takes one object. So the Paticca Samuppada in this sutta says, because of this comes to be. We always have a cause. Something will create something, and that something will create another thing. So we are a long line, chain of something. We are a chain, actually, linked as a chain. Yeah, this is what the Buddha says. So what we need to do is break the chain. Then we don't have to be so worried, yeah, about the future. So this is an important aspect of the teaching. I think when the right time comes, we should go deeper into it, because the more you understand this, the more you understand yourself, you will be more at peace. You will be more accepting. The important thing is, I hope I can pass to you this quality: accept. Just accept. Because if you don't accept, why must it be this way? I don't want it to be this way. The Buddha said, or Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh says, it is suffering. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want COVID-19, yeah, which I had twice. I don't want it. It's not nice. It's what? Suffering. I don't want to see my boss. It's suffering. And I don't want to be apart from this person. It is suffering also. I don't want. Yeah. So when you don't accept it, there is more suffering. Can you see your friends and the people that you know in this world, when something happens and they can't accept it, they will go into deep suffering. But for us, even if we lose a loved one, pass away, we know old age, we know disease. There was, I think I told you, the other organization that I also helps is Subang Jaya Buddhist Association. Yeah, in the Dhamma school, there was this boy. Yeah, he suddenly found at the beginning of the year he had leukemia. And when he found that he was going through treatment, his main aim is to sit for SPM. Yeah. Some students, they don't want to sit for SPM, but because he was not well, he just wanted to get through the SPM. But unfortunately, his karma wasn't good. And a few weeks before the SPM, he was studying and working, he passed away. So it is something hard to accept, especially for a young person. You know, he's been prepared. Everyone tells him, you know, prepare for this exam. So he prepared, but he couldn't sit for it. Yeah. So it's something he sometimes accept, sometimes couldn't accept. So if we don't accept, there is more suffering. If we do accept, then there is less suffering. So accepting means you open your heart, let it go through, and then you let go. Don't come in and hold on to it. You let the idea, let the understanding come in, then you let go. This letting go also is another wonderful quality. Accept, let go. Accept, let go. So with that, I'd like to thank you. Yeah, and we come to the end of the Dighajanu Sutta. I hope you will go through it from time to time because there are so many wonderful things to learn from it. Yeah. So thank you.